Hello Cancer, Cancer Rising and Cancer Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting December 26th, 2016, the last week of the year. And a quick reminder for you guys, your monthly astrological horoscopes for January are up on their own playlist on the main channel page, alongside a very long lecture on the Astrology of 2017 on its own spot. And of course, if you'd ever like to sign up for the classes I've got going on in January, I've got tarot classes online, as well as astrology webinar classes. All of that is starting on the 8th of January. So if you want to sign up for those, you do got to go to my website, integrativemysticism.com, for more details there. So, what is going on with your astrology this week, Cancer? Well, we've got you being put on the spot with Jupiter in Libra in your 4th house of home and family, forming an opposition to Uranus in your 10th house of career. And when we look at these angles, it's very interesting because we're kind of getting what we've been asking for in a lot of ways. This is sort of people finally paying attention to maybe critiques, maybe some complaints, maybe some difficult discussions that we've needed to have with friends and family as it relates to, again, either work, home economics, or maybe even a big move that you've been trying to make, and people are chiming in and finally listening to you, either at home or in the workplace. The thing is, though, we are being put on the spot. They know what we don't want, but now they're going to be asking us what they can do to give us what we do want. And the thing is that if we're not ready to make that statement, we could end up missing out on a good opportunity. So, take advantage of those energies this week. You are being put in the driver's seat Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in this regard. Okay, so don't let yourself get caught up, being, well, I don't know, don't put me on the spot. You've got to be put on the spot every once in a while. Later on in the week, we do have Saturn, the planet of restrictions, the planet of boundaries, forming a 10th square to Chiron in your 9th house. And Saturn right now is in your 8th house, your 6th house, the area of your work, your reputation, your service to others. And with Chiron, the planet of our, not the planet, the asteroid that rules our, I guess you could say, our unhealed wounds, our unsolved issues. Essentially it's our baggage. Some people call it the wounded healer, I just say it's our baggage. In your 9th house, there is some kind of issue that's going to be brought up between the work that you're doing, a cognitive dissonance, I guess you could say, between the work that you're doing and, your education. Are you being paid enough? Or do you have the position? Are you overqualified for the work that you're doing? Or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe we are realizing, that there may be a need to update our education during this time. We might need to actually maybe consider taking a course or moving forward in some kind of way to train ourselves to, jump through yet another hoop to get a promotion, or perhaps even more money for ourselves. There may even be some dissonance about a need to go about raising your rates, giving yourself a raise in that sense, or asking for one, even though, it might be kind of hard to do. It might be seen as disloyal to ask for such a thing, but we may actually have the go-ahead to go ahead and do it. So that's kind of interesting, kind of an easier way to process this angle, at least for you Cancer people. The rest of us, I don't know. So what's going on with your cards this week? Well, for your spiritual advice, we do have the card of the Green Witch. Alright, and this is talking about giving yourself a whole new image this week. This is talking about changing your image. I always talk about clean slates and fresh starts with this card, but I'm actually kind of getting from this is talking about changing the way you want to be perceived, whether you feel, again, you're getting the respect, getting the credit you deserve, that you've worked for. If you are overqualified for something, how do we get you into a position where you are being compensated fairly and equitably for that? Or if you are trying to maybe advance your position, how do we change our reputation? How do we change our disposition? How do we change how people see us so they see us the way we deserve to be seen? And that's going to be a big focus of this week, because a lot of being put on the spot, a lot of having these requests and these challenges happen in the astrology, is all about putting you in a place where you are more compatible with the way, or the way people treat you is more compatible and more true to the way that you are treating them and the work that you're putting in for them. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the Seven of Pentacles upright. And again, we have to lay some things on the table at the office where we may actually be able to start making more money. Maybe not this week, but maybe as we get into the new year. The Seven of Pentacles says there will be something pending that will be very profitable to you sooner than later, certainly within the next 30 days. And that is going to be brought up, whether this is a new job opportunity that we can't quite start right away, or perhaps a new promotion or a raise that's not going to be instated until we get into January. We will be needing to initiate and have those conversations. It's a good card. I wish I could say it was happening all this week. I wish I could say it was all happening tomorrow, but at least we know it's coming regardless. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, the others in your life, we do have the Page of Wands upright. And this card is talking about an invitation coming your way. Somebody actually making an invitation, whether it's to invite you out to a group, a New Year's Eve party, or maybe even just bringing you, inviting you out on a date. This could also be a discussion that is circulating. The Page of Wands is talking about increasing your popularity, though. And not just for this week, but again, going into many weeks to come. So should you heed this call, whether it's an opportunity to get to know people better that are colleagues, get better in touch with your friends, or to get to know a special somebody better, it is a step in the right direction to make yourself available to, again, change the way you want to be seen. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Queen of Swords upright. And this card could present itself as somebody who is perhaps less open-minded about evolving their perception of the world and how things should be done. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords as somebody who is very fixed sometimes as a challenge card. When they're in the challenge position, they can sometimes be very open-minded in other areas, but as a challenge position, when I see the Queen of Swords, I see somebody who, refuses to change their attitude, refuses to update, themselves or their mentality with the world around them. And this is kind of going on, with you. This could be a friend, this could be a relative, this could be a coworker. Most likely an air sign. She could be an Aquarius, a Gemini, or a Libra. And the thing is, her fixed attitude can't hold up the works. That's the problem. When we have somebody who refuses to, get with the times in whatever area of life this is, they can keep everyone else from settling into the times, which is a big, kind of obstacle that we have to conquer. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Page of Swords inverted. And this card can show up here as a need to pay attention to where people are doing the wrong kind of math in relationships. They're jumping to the wrong conclusions. You may be even jumping to some of your own wrong conclusions based on maybe a rumor mill about a crush or somebody that you're interested in. Or perhaps, your partner or your crush is doing the wrong kind of math with a bad impression that they're getting. But again, with the Page of Swords inverted, it always talks about jumping to the wrong conclusion. Okay? So even if it seems scary, it seems dire, or it just seems unpleasant, something is incorrect. There is something incorrect about this conclusion that we're reaching. And this might also be something that comes up in a relationship with one of your children. We might be finding out that people are jumping to conclusions about the way our child behaves, or our child is jumping to conclusions about, the way that they are being treated by you and your partner, and it does need to be corrected. The problem with this with the Page of Swords reversed, sometimes people don't like being wrong. Sometimes they would rather be right about something that's awful than wrong about something that is actually better off than it looks. It's a very, very egotistical kind of card, so just, be mindful of that and make sure that everyone stays humble and, again, ready to change their minds when the real truth and the real facts come out. So that is your forecast, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.